Welcome. My name is Audrey Kozarin, and I'm a Norwalk citizen. I'm pleased to share with you today this first presentation from the Norwalk Citizens Traffic Safety Committee, formed in July 2019, helping to make roads safer and our city friendlier here in Norwalk, Connecticut. The initial meeting held on June 29, 2019 at Norwalk Library on the topic of traffic safety in Norwalk, Connecticut included between 60 and 70 people made up of Norwalk citizens and elected and appointed officials on the city and the state level. As we go forward in creating this committee, we want to acknowledge that traffic safety issues exist, as they do in most cities. We want to engage concerned citizens so that we might find solutions as we partner with the city and the state, and we want to create steps going forward to be an effective committee. It's our civic duty. All of us are citizens. We have a right to speak up, and it is our duty to speak up about our concerns. Because in the end, it's about a quality of life, feeling safe on the roads, feeling a sense of pleasure being in our city. We want to ask ourselves some fundamental questions regarding quality of life and how to achieve it. Questions such as, how do we want to live? Who are we as a city, as a people? These are fundamental questions that help define who we are and how we can go forward as we design neighborhoods, make improvements, share with the world that Norwalk is a great destination, a great place to live. I don't think we want to be Stamford necessarily. We want to be Norwalk. So answering these fundamental questions is really key as we go forward. Okay, here we've got this guy taking out his anger on the road. He's creating a stressful situation for himself and for everyone around him. When we get to work, when we arrive at school or an appointment or shopping, we want to arrive fresh, we want to arrive feeling good, we don't want to arrive feeling exhausted and upset and stressed by the time we get to our destination. We want to be like this woman here, enjoying the ride, enjoying driving through town. It's peaceful, you're not being harassed every step of the way from point A to point B. In my many conversations and emails and phone calls with citizens in our city, these seem to be the top concerns. Traffic issues seem to be worsening as time goes on, really just in the last few years. That their concerns are not being addressed, that they're not being taken seriously when they call the city or the police. Somehow they're just treated like they're annoying and complaining. And that solutions to the concerns seem distant or even rejected. That people are concerned because they feel that prompt attention is not being paid to their concerns. So I've created a chart, and you can pause the video at any point to take a closer look at this, how traffic safety and civic life are intertwined from the issue, from road design to how it impacts public health, wanting to get to work and school in a safe and efficient way, to have respect for the traffic laws in our civic life and for one another, that courtesy and respect, that police are able to enforce the traffic laws. We want to have free travel around our world, and we want to make sure that our neighborhoods are equitable. We want to make sure that we're not polluting and destroying Mother Earth, that pedestrians and bicyclists can move about safely, that our streetscapes are scaled for attractiveness, for safety, for a pleasurable experience in the city, that the economy of the city and the state and all the residents is good and solid. Who wants to live in a congested city where you can't get around? Where it's unpleasant driving. And the development of our neighborhoods, we want to make sure that we have a balance between public and private development, and that that our city is like a circle around traffic safety, and traffic safety impacts all of these different areas. This is the way I see the situation in Norwalk. As we go forward in creating a Norwalk Citizens Traffic Safety Committee, we're engaging concerned citizens, whether they are members of the committee or just the broad community. We want to create a committed and nonpartisan, well-informed group. We want to foster continuous engagement with officials. We want to have regular conversation. We want to encourage neighborhood solutions. It's not up to just the city and the state to resolve every traffic issue. Some of these things we can take care of ourselves for either no money at all or very little expense. And to advocate for the common good, to make Norwalk a really great, friendly city. Let's talk about driver behavior. Yes, we see the road rage, we see the impatience, we see people breaking traffic laws all over the place. The signs in the middle on this slide show some of the neighborhood efforts. These are not official or regulation signage. These are responses that neighborhoods are implementing for their neighborhoods, saying, hey, you know, we have families on the street, we have children, we want you to respect our neighborhood and our homes as you pass by. Driver behavior. These are some of the words that came across to me from over 100 comments that I have heard again and again, the same words, describing how drivers are behaving out there on the road. Driver attitudes. Yes, my car is bigger or better or more expensive, so I own the road. That all about me, I'm in a big hurry attitude. We see that all the time. Also the discrepancy between really large vehicles and regular sized vehicles. There does seem to be an attitude, and it's very pushy and bullying in a lot of cases. So we all want to respect the traffic laws and respect one another for a safer and more friendly city. So here's how driving behavior tends to play out, with speeding leading the pack. Everything from not obeying the traffic laws to really just pushing people around and using quiet streets as cut-throughs. The traffic laws are put in place to keep us safe. Without people obeying the traffic laws, we have anarchy. They are not mere suggestions. They're not options. The laws are there to keep us safe. It's about courtesy and respect for one another and for the traffic laws. This is what makes a civilized society. We want to form good relationships with our city and state officials, to be in conversation and continuous engagement with them as we go forward with finding resolutions to some of our traffic safety issues, and to thank them for the good work that they are doing. We want to focus on what works and what's positive, and also be honest about where road traffic safety issues exist. So this traffic safety effort has received tremendous support by 3 of our state legislators up in Hartford, Senator Bob Duff, Representative Lucy Dathan, and Representative Chris Perrone, and really appreciate them taking interest and supporting what we're doing with this committee. So I want to introduce you to VisionZero Network, which is an international ethical road safety platform. It started in Sweden, and it's also being utilized as a road safety set of standards in 30 U.S. cities and growing. They have a wonderful model for how citizens can interact with the city or an entity, and I'm really looking forward to Norwalk joining. The City of Norwalk has indicated tremendous interest in joining the VisionZero network. There are requirements that are need to be fulfilled, but really look forward to going ahead with VisionZero for Norwalk, a wonderful model. VisionZero is an ethical model for road safety. Their mission statement, VisionZero, starts with the ethical belief that everyone has the right to move safely in their communities and that system designers and policymakers share the responsibility to ensure safe systems for travel. I believe we have this in place in Norwalk and in Fairfield County, our general region. I think, though, that VisionZero has a different way of prioritizing and thinking outside the box. I like the fact that VisionZero centers the community in an engagement process. VisionZero, I think one of their requirements is that cities have continuous engagement with the public so that there is a partnership formed. And so this committee, this Traffic Safety Committee of Citizens that we have now, is a ready group of people for the city to engage with. Having meaningful community engagement requires a shift in power from institutional leaders to those who are most impacted by decisions. So VisionZero turns on its head this hierarchy that now in their world that leaders follow and that citizens have a decision-making power. So I think this is a great model. I know the city is looking into it, and in a way it feels good, so I hope it's something we can go forward with. VisionZero identifies 4 primary road users, and this is in their order of importance, that when we keep the most vulnerable safe, those using public transportation, for instance, that keeping that group safe right off the bat keeps pedestrians safe, bicyclists safe, and of course cars and trucks are safer to move around the city. Right now, we seem to have the opposite. It isn't just Norwalk, it's our general region, maybe the whole country, that cars and trucks rule and everyone else be damned. Other models besides VisionZero, I know the city of Norwalk and many other cities use complete streets modeling in their street and neighborhood designs. There's something known as slow streets, which we might look at for individual neighborhoods. And the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has a Safe Communities platform. Imagine the pedestrians and bicyclists getting around the city, seeing more and more people on foot and on bicycles in Norwalk, fewer cars. It would be quieter, safer. We want to make sure that kids feel comfortable walking or bicycling to school. So many parents end up driving their kids to school because they don't feel their kids will be safe. And look on the right side of the slide there. That's in Portland, Oregon. Imagine Norwalk looking like that. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And imagine people getting around on scooters around Norwalk, having fun and enjoying life. It's all about vision. It's all about quality of life. How do we want to live? It's about having safer streets and going forward with the city and citizens together. So the goals of this committee are, in the beginning, to identify what the concerns are, to educate and familiarize ourselves with the various road safety platforms, and to look at to research, see what other cities and states are doing around the United States and maybe further afield, to acquaint ourselves and to share that with officials, and to meet regularly and build visibility for our efforts. VisionZero says it's incumbent on cities to have continuous engagement with the public. And in that continuous engagement, citizens can say to officials, "Let us help you to help us all." And officials can reach back to the citizens and say, "Let us help you to help us all." Thank you very much for watching this presentation. And remember to drive safely. That is one thing that we can all do to keep our roads safer and our city friendlier.